Hey everyone! In this video I'm working with some oil pastel, doing a profile portrait, and here I'm just showing you some materials I'll be using. That first tool was a silicone tool. The second one was the X-Acto knife, and then a paper blending stump and a shop towel. Mostly working with the Caran d'Ache Neo Pastels. Near the end of the video, I do use a softer white from the Art Echo oil pastel set, but 99% of this portrait is done with the Neo Pastel. So my process for drawing in pastel is a bit repetitive. I tried to cut out a lot of footage that was just going over and over, but just to give you the general idea, especially here in the beginning, I am getting my lines down and I'm constantly pressing them back into the paper. So I have a flat surface to apply more pastel, and that is so that I can get the layers built up smoothly and not worry about things blending into the other colors until I really want them to. So because I work with line first and I'm not blocking things in, which would be different if you're blocking things in, because I'm using a line and to build the form, I am blending as I go. This just makes it a lot easier to, as I said, build the layers up. So the colors that I'm working with are, first here is a burnt sienna, and I will use a darker brown, which I believe is Van Dyke. I could be wrong. I will list the actual colors once I go in with my magnifier and read them off of the labels when I list the description of my materials and things. So yeah, I mean, there's a very interesting process with oil pastel because you can continue to go on and on and on. Like some other mediums like acrylic or oil paint, you can just continue to layer and build forever. And that's one of the things that is really kind of nice about it, is you just get kind of lost in the process and you're able to just keep refining and refining and refining. I mean, at some point, yeah, you do have to quit, I mean, I really could have went super far with this if I wanted to spend hours on it. But for the purposes of this video, I am just doing enough to get a nice smooth layer in the end without showing too much paper grain. So the colors will eventually mute and blend and give a decent skin tone with some mid values, but going in straight with this yellow, and I believe it's a lemon yellow, is a little bit shocking at first. I know, it's like, oh my gosh, why are you using yellow for her skin? But after you've put down the burnt sienna, and I went in and I did some red for the cheeks and the lips, and just place things in those areas, then I go over the entire thing with the yellow and blend it, and then continue to go back and forth with those colors. And the white in this set is extremely cool, so it really beiges out these warmer tones. And as far as my initial sketch, I think I had some like steps that I either missed in my own profile building map, but one of the things that I was realizing with my profile format is it tends to look a little bit flat near the nose bridge and the forehead area, and I believe that's because there is a step during my little format process in the front facing view where you put in the nose bridge connected to the eyebrow area right after you map in your eyebrows and nose. And for the profile, that is a little bit strange because it's from the side view, but it still needs to be done. So that was something I was a little bit correcting through this whole drawing here, was trying to get a little bit more of a shape in that area. And not that there are some profiles that are a little bit more flat, but I wanted to remember to do that the next time I do, or I maybe update my profile format. So I am using finally some little tools here to go in and do some detail. And once everything's kind of blended in, you get your colors all where you want them, you can use these smaller tools to go in and refine your edges. And that will be absolutely necessary in areas like the nostrils and the eyes, because the tips of these oil pastels are super blunt, and to me it's not worth it to sharpen them to a point and waste the oil pastel unless I had planned on saving it on the side and then incorporating it into a background or something. But I prefer to use the pointed end tools, and the paper stump and the silicone blender work a little bit differently, where the paper stump is a little bit, it's a lot stiffer, and you can kind of push the paint around and pick some up. But with the silicone blender, you're just like really pushing it into the paper and more or less smearing it. So they do operate a little bit differently, and I think the paper stump is a little bit better for getting very precise details without a whole lot of blending. And also the X-Acto knife. So great thing about the X-Acto knife is you can scratch away some of your mistakes, or you can carve in and refine some areas. I kind of go in a little bit too early as far as layers are concerned with the X-Acto knife, trying to refine that area I was talking about with the nose bridge, and it doesn't work too well for getting rid of that line, but it does lighten it up so that I can go over it with some more oil pastel and kind of fade it a little bit. And if I layer it more with some white, then, or even any lighter tone really, it will layer back over it, and you can get rid of some marks that you didn't intend to or wanted to remove or change. It works particularly trying to say that word, particularly well when your layers are super thick. And yeah, as I said, you can use it to just get texture or make some other marks, refine some edges. So that is what the X-Acto knife is for. And I think that's it for the technical explanations of what I'm doing in this video. Yeah, and as I said before, there's just a lot of going back and forth with these layers, and I'm really feeling the paper to see if it's smooth and if there's any more like grain of the paper that I can feel. And because this is just regular sketchbook paper, I mean, I actually prefer this to work on with oil pastel. I've tried Bristol and even the more textured papers, but I really prefer drawing paper, especially with the neo pastels, because they're a slightly firmer pastel that gets a sharper line. So to me, they work better on this paper. I mean, the softer pastels do as well, but as far as really showing that line as fine as you can get it for an oil pastel, this is my preferred paper. So yeah, I'm just kind of, like I said, going back and forth here. I'll leave you guys to watch the rest of the video and see what I mean about you know, blending, going back in with the tools, refining. Those are all the things that I'm kind of rotating and doing for the rest of the video. Once you get your initial lines in, you map everything in, you just continue to layer and blend and layer and blend until the cows come home. So yeah, you know, if I wanted to spend more time on this, I could really refine the edges, but for the purposes of this video not being too long, we are pretty much done, and I'm doing some abstract background, doing like a little faux landscape. I don't know, it just an indication of a landscape, I guess, you know. So yeah, as I said, I will let you guys enjoy the rest of the video, and if you have any questions about this process or you'd like to see more oil pastel videos, which is what I started this channel out doing, yeah, I do rotate between gouache, watercolor, some drawing in different mediums, but yeah, oil pastel is something that I didn't start out really liking very much, and I really like it a lot now, and just needed to get back to it and use my oil pastels that I've collected here. So yeah, as I was saying, I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the video, and if you have any questions about this process or would like to see more oil pastel videos, please let me know down in the comments. Leave me a like if you like this video, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.